For boxing's undisputed king, Saul Canelo Alvarez, one shadow looms larger than all others: David Benavidez. The Mexican monster has been relentless, outspoken, and unapologetically clear in his desire to fight Canelo, insisting the champion is intentionally avoiding him. And as the boxing world debates the risks, one of the sport's smartest voices, Max Kellerman, has cut through the noise. This isn't just another potential matchup, it's about legacy. Kellerman is ready to explain why the fight many believe Canelo fears most is actually the path to his greatest glory. Canelo Alvarez isn't simply a champion, he's a phenomenon. The true modern Mexican golden boy
is usually stacked in his favor. Canelo is the golden boy first, because he can fight his ever-loving ass off. When he was a teenager, he was a YouTube sensation, playing to packed houses in Mexico, there to watch him beat up grown men. Now, over a decade later, he's outboxing the rangiest and cagiest, and outfighting the roughest and toughest in the whole wide world. Canelo was the golden boy second, because as a top fighter of Mexican heritage, he has a built-in following. There is no larger nor more rabid fan base in the world. Thirdly, he's good-looking, which plays to Madison Avenue, see his Under Armour endorsement deal. And with the red hair, he's got an unusual look, an Irish-looking Mexican.
Max Kellerman does not use that phrase lightly, comparing Canelo to the original golden boy, Oscar de la Hoya. While de la Hoya had to earn the love of hardcore Mexican fans, Canelo was born into it. He represents the perfect blend of slick defensive skill and brutal offensive power.
Golden Boy is so named because the boss is the golden boy himself, Oscar de la Hoya. De la Hoya's appeal was based on his excellence, of course. He brought home the Olympic gold medal after all. But also the fact that he was good-looking and of Mexican heritage. Oscar was Mexican-American. And because of that, and because he was a pretty boy, he had some proving to do before he was accepted by the Mexican fight crowd. I mean, if you're so tough and willing to show it, which you better be in order to win over hardcore fight fans, why are your facial features still where they're...
His appeal comes from elite talent, a deep bond with the sport's most passionate fanbase, and a rare marketability that extends far beyond the ropes. His resume reads like a Hall of Fame ballot, a true murderer's row of opponents. Canelo didn't just fight champions, he hunted the most dangerous ones. He faced Erislandy Lara, the most technically gifted Cuban southpaw, in a high-risk, low-reward puzzle most champions would avoid. In his pursuit of greatness, he also battled knockout threats like Daniel Jacobs and Sergey Kovalev.
It was close. Yes, I thought he beat Lara too. Thought if anyone deserved a decision in the Triple G rematch, it was Canelo. I ain't playing favorites. I agree he lost the first Triple G fight and got practically shut out by Floyd Mayweather the night one judge had it a draw laughably. But that's how it usually works with the network's house fighter, with the promoter's cash cow, with the A side, with the golden bluff and willing to show it, and is not apologizing for the fact that he has those kind of James Toney level skills to hit you more than you can hit him. Slippery, slip punches and counter guy. There have been great Mexican fighters who were also big draws, like Julio Cesar Chavez and Marco Antonio Barrera. But until now, there hasn't been a genuine Mexican golden boy, the glamour fighter with crossover appeal and the...
Yet no chapter in Canelo's legacy is bigger than his dramatic two-fight war with Gennady GGG Golovkin. Fans begged for the matchup for years, viewing Golovkin as an unstoppable Kazakh wrecking machine. Their first fight ended in a controversial draw, shaking the sport and casting doubt on Canelo's supremacy.
I thought that Triple G won the second fight as well. I think Canelo showed some improvement, but it's also possible that Triple G might have slowed down a little bit.
I think so. You know, the first fight I had at 9-3 for Triple G. That's how I scored it.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, and I gave the first 3 rounds to Canelo, and then I had it every round after for Triple G. This fight, I thought Canelo won. Close fight, and if you gave it to Triple G, I wouldn't have screamed robbery.
Right.
You know?
I think Teddy was saying that he thought the Triple G won, but I felt like, well, it's a pretty close fight. But certainly Canelo showed much improvement.
He did, and he fought us.
Many felt those early battles, especially the first with GGG, were razor close, with critics arguing Canelo received favorable judging.
Brendan Schaub, I should say this before the decision gets announced, said that if Golovkin didn't win by some ungodly lopsided beatdown that he could lose a decision because of corruption. He goes, because that's how boxing rolls, and there's way more money in Canelo winning. So that's it. Now that we know that.
Tecate sponsor.
That's true. Well, apparently the audience is like half Mexican. He's a superstar in Mexico. Just a superstar.
Who are you talking about?
Canelo.
Oh, yeah.
So let's see if Brendan Schaub predicted this correctly, because we think
it has to be Golovkin.
The unofficial scorecard guy had it for Golovkin by several rounds. We think it was Golovkin clearly, although Canelo...
Stung by the criticism, Canelo evolved in the rematch. He changed his identity completely. He didn't back up. He marched forward, became the hunter, forced GGG backward, and earned a hard-fought, disciplined decision that, as Kellerman said, cemented him as a complete fighter.
I think it was clear. I think that the smaller guy backed up the bigger guy. See, a puncher like Golovkin, a guy who's made his living on coming forward, doesn't want to go backwards. That was Canelo's game plan from the beginning, and you have to give him credit for having the courage to stand in the lion's den to get his work off.
But when he was backing him up, Andre, Triple G was using the jab all night long, and it couldn't miss Canelo's face. What about that?
I'll put it like this. Most of the combinations throughout the course of the fight, Canelo led, Golovkin would tap him with a jab or maybe come back with a right hand and left hook, and Canelo would also finish. He would lead and he would finish. So as a judge, I'm looking at that, and to me, if I didn't score round for round, I'm looking at Canelo and I'm saying that he has the momentum. He's dominating this fight. So you can have a close fight, but there could also be a guy kind of dominate. Like, man, it's subtle, but man, this guy has the momentum.
The debate then shifted. Not whether Canelo was great, but whether he could surpass the legendary Julio Cesar Chavez, the greatest Mexican fighter ever. Kellerman argued Canelo needed a monumental achievement, such as cleaning out the light heavyweight division.
Ever see Julio Cesar Chavez in his prime? I'm talking about the daddy. I'm talking about one of the greatest fighters ever. This guy is the closest thing I have seen to a big Julio Cesar Chavez. David, I'm not putting the Chavez thing on you. I'm just saying, you're the closest thing I've seen to a big...
But while Canelo built his empire, a monster rose in the shadows, David Benavidez. From a young age, Benavidez carried massive expectations, with Kellerman famously calling him the closest thing he's ever seen to Julio Cesar Chavez.
That's happening in my career. You know, I'm in a great position in every single way. I wasn't going to go down to 168, but now if Canelo wants to come up, then I got the WBC world title, 175. After I beat Bivol, I'm going to have all belts. So after that happens, now I'm the one who has the power. Now I'm the one. Canelo said he doesn't fight. He fights for greatness. He fights for titles. Well, let me go pick up.
Since age 3, Benavidez trained under his father Jose Benavidez Sr., living a life with no playgrounds, only drills, sparring, and discipline. He doesn't just box, he hunts. He welcomes war. His style is suffocating, constant pressure, 7 to 9 punch combinations, breaking opponents physically and mentally. Benavidez is driven not just to win titles, but to become the greatest ever. After overcoming personal struggles, he has transformed into a disciplined destroyer who maximizes every gift he has. Yet despite his power, one barrier remains: getting Canelo in the ring. And Benavidez has a chillingly direct theory why it hasn't happened.
Handle my presence is, he's definitely scared of me. You know, if you have a fighter talking so much trash in front of you, why don't you make an example of him to the world? Beat me in the ring and make a whole lot of money. But Canelo Alvarez, as you can see from every time he fights a guy that's big with power, like Bivol, you know what I mean? And he's not able to suppress these fighters as much as he's able to suppress the little fighters. You know what I mean? So he sees a lot of things in me that he can't stop.
David Benavidez has clearly stated that Canelo is terrified of me.
About just Benavidez coming in big, like some people give him the weight bully title, things like that. Did you feel like his size played a factor in, the later rounds?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, I mean, he's just, he weighs a lot. He's a big guy. He's a big frame, and at the same time, he's got a lot of boxing skills to go on top of that. Speed, his explosiveness. He puts his punches together well. So, he's got a lot going for him. I don't want to really make any excuses. He's a good fighter. That's why I wanted to fight him to begin with. That's the goal, right? Like if you say you're the best.
Canelo is scared of me, Benavidez claims.
You know, I know people are down on Canelo because he lost Bivol, but Bivol was always bad for Canelo. Bivol was always the guy you put Canelo in with if you wanted to get Canelo beat. And I know Benavidez and Beterbiev, for that matter, are like these beasts, right? But man, Canelo, that's the type of fighter he is. He wants you to come to him because he's a natural counterpuncher. So I would say it's like James Toney, right? You want to beat James Toney back in the day, you go get Roy Jones, not just because he's great, but because he'll step around you. He's here, he's there, you can't find him. His feet are fast, he can get around you. But if you put Vasily Girov in with James Toney, great. Tony's just got Girov was an undefeated an Olympic gold medalist, world champion. But if you're going to just come at James Toney, he's going to counter you. And that's Canelo. Against Benavidez, against Beterbiev, I like Canelo's chances because they're going to do exactly what he wants them to do. And against a guy like Bivol, it's going to be tougher for him.
What about Beterbiev?
Same thing. I did Beterbiev with Canelo.
Yes.
Yeah, same thing with like Benavidez. Beterbiev is going to go to Canelo. That's all.
I feel like Canelo's a fucking pussy. That's just my opinion. Because if we ever fight, the man is making well over $100 million. You know what I mean? If, let's say, he's saying that I don't have nothing to offer, that I'm nobody, that I need more experience, this and that. If you're gonna make $100 million fighting somebody that has no experience, that he sucks, this and that, all this shit that they've been talking about me, why would you not come beat my ass and collect a big bag on my head after the fight? Like, this is the same shit I'm doing with David Morrell. You know what I mean? It's the hardest fight, but I'm not scared of nobody. You know what I mean? I like I said, I embrace the challenges. So for Canelo and his fans saying that I don't bring nothing to the table, I don't do this, I don't do that, man, they're all scared, just like how he's scared. You know what I mean? And if he wants to come prove that I ain't shit, come prove it in front of everybody.
And this isn't just trash talk, it's his analysis of Canelo's career. He points to Canelo's one-sided loss to the bigger, masterful Dimitri Bivol as proof, arguing Canelo sees him as a dangerous blend of speed, power, and relentlessness that cannot be beaten. He can't beat me today, Benavidez insists, saying his confidence rises as Canelo's window closes. He believes if Canelo thought he could win, the fight already would have happened, especially since Canelo reportedly turned down $50 million. To Benavidez, the equation is simple: Canelo is a businessman. He knows he can't win.
I'm not saying who necessarily wins, but that's fastball pitcher against fastball hitter. There's nothing cute there. One guy just wants you to stay there so he can come to you and do what he wants to do, and the other guy just wants you to come to him so he can do what he needs to do. Canelo just wants you to come to him. Oh, I got you now. And Beterbiev just wants you to stay right there. I'm going to come and get you.
But here's Kellerman's surprising take, a take that flips the narrative. He believes the Benavidez fight would be explosive and, shockingly, a stylistic advantage for Canelo. Kellerman breaks down boxing science. Canelo is a supreme counterpuncher in the mold of James Toney, a defensive genius who thrives on pressure. Fighters who move, like Bivol or Floyd Mayweather, give him trouble by refusing to engage.
Breaking news in the boxing world. Canelo Alvarez, the Mexican superstar, is out of the ring until mid-2026. Why? Elbow surgery after his loss to Terence Crawford. That's right, no fights for Canelo until at least April, maybe even September next year. But here's the real question. Is Canelo done? Some say he's been on the decline since 2022. Remember those fights against Berlanga, Skull, and Munguia? Critics argue he's been avoiding top contenders like Benavidez and Morrell. Now, about that Crawford fight, was it really a dismantling, or just another case of Canelo's stamina giving out?
Benavidez, however, does exactly what Canelo wants. He comes forward. He brings pressure. Kellerman even says Canelo would be a live threat against Artur Beterbiev for the same reason. Pressure fighters feed into Canelo's greatest strength. Like a fastball pitcher versus a fastball hitter, Canelo doesn't fear power coming at him, he thrives on it. With feet planted and counters loaded, Canelo could punish the aggression that makes Benavidez dangerous. If Kellerman is right, this isn't fear, it's a calculated, winnable risk Canelo hasn't taken yet.
Benavidez, you said he was not scared to fight anyone in the previous interview. A lot of the rumors and talk on Twitter say that Canelo's scared, he's old, David is young and hungry.
Canelo Alvarez will fight anybody. You got to pay him.
Yeah.
If they come up with the money, he'll fight Benavidez.
He'll fight Benavidez. Just okay.
Andy, one last question. Canelo, hell of a fighter, but my personal opinion, he's ducking Benavidez. Mm-hmm. You know, that's just my personal opinion, and I'm allowed to speak my mind. That's just what it is. He's going up. He's going up to cruiser, and I'm not knocking him, but he's going up to cruiserweight. And that same guy with that, he used to be at the Mayweather boxing gym. The guys who really getting the best of him in the Mayweather boxing gym. So if he's going up to quote unquote cruiserweight, I mean, we got a lot. Benavidez can go and beat that same guy. He can beat that same guy at 168. So he's not doing nothing, like I said before. But when you are put in a certain position, he should be he's able to like me. When I was in a position, I can pick and choose who I want to, because I earned that right. But do I like this fight? Absolutely not.
Recent events have complicated everything. On September 13, 2025, Canelo suffered a clear defeat to Terence Bud Crawford, marking his first major dent in years. Combined with needed elbow surgery keeping him out until mid-2026, uncertainty surrounds him.
Is now the right time for you to move up from super middleweight to light heavy?
But this is the right time to move up to super light heavyweight, because I did everything I could do at 168. I've been there for 10 years. But the only other thing I had to achieve was, fighting for the unified world titles, and Canelo Alvarez is holding all of them. So he doesn't want to give me the fight. I've been mandatory for the past 3 years. I've done everything I could do to get that fight. I still haven't got it, so I'm not gonna wait around for nobody. I'm gonna go and make my own lane at 175, and that's exactly what I'm doing. My goal is to become unified world champion at 175, and just reign there, and then maybe go up to cruiserweight. So I still have a lot to grow. I'm 27 years old, so I'm still doing a lot in this sport.
During this time, Canelo signed a new 3-fight deal with PBC, surprising even Eddie Hearn, who called it the smartest move. The deal sets up potential fights with Jermall Charlo, Errol Spence, and of course, David Benavidez. But while Canelo heals, Benavidez isn't waiting.
16.
Tired of chasing Canelo, Benavidez made a bold move, declaring he's done with 168, saying he lost interest long ago and is now targeting the Sharks at 175.
Division.
Which one's more of the fight?
I know Dimitri Bivol more than Beterbiev, but I think Dimitri Bivol just put the game plan out how to beat Beterbiev. But both of them, I have to be at the top of my game. Training camp has to be the hardest training camp I've ever been through to win those fights. Both of them. A more like a barn burner fight would be me and Beterbiev. Fights like that, people that got a lot of power, you gotta use movement. So I think that would show a different aspect in my game. But I'm 100% confident I beat both those guys. It's not gonna be easy at all. But
he is now aggressively pursuing legends like Artur Beterbiev and Dimitri Bivol, aiming to conquer the division many believe Canelo needed to sweep to become an all-time great. This is more than business, it's a checkmate.
Chavez is the greatest Mexican fighter of all time, and there's a lot of competition for that distinction. Salvador Sanchez and so many others, Barrera, Morales and everything. If Canelo were to clean out light heavy, for example, if he were to stay pound for pound best for 5, 6, 7 years, I don't know that looking back at Chavez, I'm not sure he was ever really the #1 best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. He was 1, 2, or 3 for a number of years.
Benavidez has flipped the power structure. Soon, he may not be the challenger, but the champion holding all the leverage. With belts at 175, he believes Canelo will have no negotiation power. He is building his empire in territory once expected for Canelo. So where are we now? We have a champion, Canelo, battling doubt after defeat and surgery. We have a monster, Benavidez, embodying Mexico's warrior spirit and seizing the path toward greatness. And we have Max Kellerman's analysis suggesting the fighter fans think Canelo fears most is actually the style he's built to destroy. The question isn't if this fight happens, but on whose terms and what it will mean. Will Canelo return and follow Kellerman's logic to prove he is still king? Or will he be forced to chase Benavidez into deeper waters, fighting a newly crowned champion for ultimate glory? The boxing world waits, breath held, for the showdown that could define an era. If you enjoyed this breakdown, like, subscribe, hit the bell, and drop your thoughts below. Stay tuned, the next chapter is coming.